In the 1990s, there were many bands that were trying to catch the attention of everyone in the music world, but a certain select groups were able to actually do that. You might recall names like NSYNC, the Backstreet Boys, 98 Degrees, and others. But in terms of the girl groups, the name that stood out loud and proud above them all was the Spice Girls. This group had a diverse group of singers and made such an impact that they got their own movie. Believe it, and are still making music and tours today, more or less. So with that, allow us to ask about the Spice Girls. Will there be another reunion? Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Foolish not to tour again? 2 years after the Spice Girls performed their sellout reunion tour, Melanie Chisholm, better known as Mel C or Sporty Spice, has hinted that the 90s girl group will return to the stage. Appearing on ITV's Good Morning Britain in July, the 47-year-old singer said the band would be absolute fools to not want to head back out on the road. "Well, you know, that's the dream," she said, when host Kate Garraway asked whether fans will ever get to see the Spice Girls perform together again. The Spice Girls, which formed in 1994, was made up of Chisholm, Emma Bunton, Jerry Halliwell, Melanie Brown, known as Mel B, and Victoria Beckham. They also went by the respective nicknames of Sporty Spice, Baby Spice, Ginger Spice, Scary Spice, and Posh Spice. In 2019, the Spice Girls reunited for a 13-date tour of the United Kingdom and Ireland, which saw them perform in a host of cities including Dublin, Cardiff, and Manchester. They did so without Beckham, who declined to take part. We'll get to that later. The last time Beckham shared a stage with the group was in 2012, when she hopped on the roof of a studded black car to perform at the Olympics closing ceremony in London. Reflecting on the success of their 2019 tour, Chisholm described the experience as mind-blowing, adding, "It was so much better than we ever could have dreamed of, and we'd be absolute fools to not want to do that again." She went on to add that she is always pushing for another such tour, and that they would like to perform in territories such as Southeast Asia and Australia. The Spice Girls, known for espousing girl power, catapulted to fame in 1994 with their hit Wannabe. One of the highest-selling female groups of all time, they have sold at least 85 million records and topped the UK singles chart 9 times with hits including Wannabe, To Become One, and Spice Up Your Life. The Spice Girls split in 1998, after Halliwell announced she was leaving in the middle of their world tour. They all went on to pursue solo careers. No more Posh. Let's talk about Victoria Beckham. You may know her as the wife of legendary soccer player David Beckham, but at one time she was part of the Spice Girls, specifically Posh Spice. But of the 5 ladies, Victoria seemed like the odd one out. Not because of looks, but because of singing talent. The fans of the group noticed that whenever Victoria sang, it wasn't as strong or as elegant as the other ladies. Thus, she was accused of lip-syncing. Ironically, Victoria openly admitted later on that she was indeed lip-syncing most of the time. The Spice Girls wanted her in the group because of her looks, and to round out the group. So at live concerts, her microphone was just turned off, even if she wanted to sing. Then, when they recorded songs, they wouldn't give her many solo parts. You might think this is a weird deal, but for Victoria, it was great. She got to be part of a band, and she realized through their career as a group that she wanted to go into fashion, which she did, and then she got rich and famous via doing that. And again, she married David Beckham, one of the most famous men on the planet. So while the Spice Girls may go and reunite one day, it won't be with Victoria there again, and that might be for the best, because she only adds looks to the group. Her own words, recall, and tours need to be about the sound. So we thank you for your help, Posh Spice. Peace out. The origins of the Spice Girls. On the 4th of March 1994, 400 aspiring singers crammed into London's Dancework studios after spotting an advert for a new girl band in the Stage newspaper. They were split into groups of 10 and taught a dance routine to Eternal Stay. Afterwards, they each performed a solo song to father and son management team Bob and Chris Herbert. Mel B blew them away, singing Whitney's The Greatest Love of All, while Mel C went for the Pointer Sisters' I'm So Excited, and Victoria chose Mein Herr from Cabaret. A month later, they were invited back for a second audition, now with only 10 girls. Jerry was there too, even though she had skipped the initial audition after getting sunburnt in Spain. She just said she was ill and pleaded to be fast-tracked to the recall, Victoria later recalled. All 4 were selected to form the band, alongside 17-year-old Michelle Stephenson. The sort of girl you can imagine in a Flake advert, said Victoria, who had received the highest scores at the audition. Ironic, wouldn't you say? The quintet moved into a house in Maidenhead, where they received dance and vocal coaching. But it soon became clear Michelle didn't fit in. Eventually, Michelle was replaced by Emma Bunton, a former stage school pupil who had become recommended by their vocal tutor, Peppy Lemmer. Of course, I regret I'm not a multi-millionaire like them, Michelle later told the Mirror. But at the time I left the group, I knew I was doing the right thing. It wasn't my kind of music, and they were not living the lifestyle I wanted. Getting it together. After months of rehearsals, the 5 girls grew disillusioned with Bob and Chris Herbert and decided to extricate themselves. They hadn't signed a contract, but their managers did have the master recording of their songs Wannabe and To Become One. So, Jerry hatched a plan to retrieve the recordings and make off with them. I don't know how she actually managed to get it. Everything was so Bonnie and Clyde, says Victoria in her autobiography, Learning to Fly. She had it hidden in her knickers, she said, in case Bob and Chris had given chase. Working from the back of Jerry's beaten-up Fiat Uno, the band started building a new team, eventually signing with Annie Lennox's manager, Simon Fuller. He immediately put them in the studio and started introducing them to record labels. I'll never forget the day they burst in here, Virgin Records deputy director Ashley Newton told Music Week in the first ever profile of the Spice Girls. They caused such a commotion doing a mad routine in the office, all talking at once and being really funny. He called his bosses and told them, "You have to see this." On the day they were due to sign to the label, the band sent 5 Ann Summers blow-up dolls in their place, with a chauffeur instructed to announce that the Spice Girls had arrived. There were almost heart attacks, Jerry claimed. If Virgin didn't know who yet they were dealing with, they did now, added Victoria. Number 1. Although Virgin was skeptical of Wannabe's potential, it was an instant smash, selling 73,000 copies in its first week. Hoping it would go to number 1, the band crowded around a radio on a picnic rug in Jerry's sister's garden, champagne at the ready, as the countdown was revealed. But their hopes were dashed. Wannabe entered the charts at number 3, held at bay Gary Barlow's Forever Love, his first solo number 1, and the Fugees' Killing Me Softly. However, the following week it climbed to the top spot, becoming the first of 6 consecutive number 1s for the band. And history was made from that point on. The legacy of the Spice Girls. So, what is the true legacy of the Spice Girls? Simple. They were a group that knew who they wanted to be, fought to be that, made the songs they wanted, and made an impact. Again, they topped the charts 6 times in the UK, were so beloved they helped close out an Olympics, and they went on to have a successful music career both together and apart for the most part. Many groups out there don't have the accolades that they do, so whether they do another group tour or not, they're going to be ingrained in the culture, and they're definitely not a wannabe. So, what do you think? What do you think of this look at the Spice Girls, their potential for going and touring again, as well as their history as a group? Do you want to see the Spice Girls tour one more time? Or more than one more time? What is your favorite Spice Girls memory or song? Let us know in the comment section down below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.